Hey guys, today is Easter Sunday, so happy Easter to all you guys out there and gals. I was trying to get ready to spray this Raptor liner. Excuse me, I had to sneeze, so I had to put it on pause. Anyways, what I was saying is not a Raptor liner, but I'm gonna spray the lizard skin on the floor pans. And I'm gonna do that sound control and then the ceramic heat control to eliminate some heat coming up from the floor. Anyways, so I've got the pans sanded down and also the up on top here scuffed down. Still need a little bit more work and cleaning, and I'm not gonna be able to spray it this weekend, so I'm probably shooting for next weekend because I've got to mask the car and make sure none of that stuff gets anywhere else on the body and up on the roof or anywhere else. Anyways, my plan is to do an aftermarket AC on the car, and I am having to remove that heater defrost vent that's there. The instructions for the vintage air says that you have to remove that piece there and install their piece that goes up to the defrost there. So I'm in the process of doing that, and it's a little bit harder than what the instructions show. I mean, the instructions just tell you need to remove it and grind the spot welds or cut them or whatever. So I know how to do that. Got pretty good at doing that when I started doing all the sheet metal in this car. But the problem is that it's such a tight spot to get in here. Shine some light in there. So there's the piece somewhere in there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but right in there I've got to remove those two welds. And at first I thought, okay, it's not going to be too bad. I said it's got two spot welds there. I'll drill those out and chisel them out. But then it doesn't tell you, well, I mean, you don't know that it's also welded up on top to this piece of metal here, and then so you got three pieces of metal basically here. So I'm trying to split it there where I can break it loose. So I thought I had it just by getting those welds and then moving over here, but I found out, like I said, it's welded up there, or spot welded up there. So what I did is I got a chisel. Got this chisel here, and I put it up behind there and was able to work my way through to about midpoint. So now I'm moving over here and getting those welds off. So I almost got it broke loose, but I've been out here about a couple of hours working on that. Of course, it's taking me a little bit longer because I don't want to ruin what I've already done here on the other side. If you're not careful, you'll break through to this other side. So basically that's finished down there, and as I was drilling one hole, I drilled probably a 16-inch hole to get the spot weld cutter started. I ended up drilling through that, but it's very small. But I can probably just take some seam sealer and just dab over the hole, and then kind of brush it with some paint. That I still got some of that base coat that I used. It's not going to be very noticeable because you got your cowl that goes on top of there, but anyways, that's the problem with getting this thing off. The lack of planning is probably what put me in this spot, because at one time I had that whole front cowl off completely, and that would have been the time to remove this piece. And if I'd made any holes through the other side, then it would have been easier to weld them up and get them taken care of. So that's lack of planning on my part. I mean, I always knew I wanted to do an AC, and I should have read up on it before I covered that up on top and painted it. But anyways, I'm gonna get back at it, and next weekend I'll probably have this lizard skin on, so I'll try to shoot a video of that. You can either roll it on with a roller brush or roller, or you can spray it with the gun that they sell you. So I went ahead and got the spray gun, and we're going to try to spray it and see how it goes. Alright guys, I will bring you back if I get that piece off. It's pretty loud with the air hammer, air chisel. So I've been wearing my earmuffs because it echoes so bad in here. Alright, thanks for watching. Okay guys, it's still Sunday afternoon now. After fighting with this for a couple hours, I finally got it off. And that's the heater defrost duct. And just looking at it here, right behind it, it's bare metal. So even in the 60s, they used to sandwich these panels together with just bare metal. No primer or nothing in the back here. And if you look up in there, the light's probably too bright or something, but that's just bare metal back there. It's got just minimal rust. I mean, it's not like it rusted through anything. But they spot welded these panels without any primer or nothing to protect the bare metal. The problem here was this top piece here was welded or spot welded to these. Let's see if I can show y'all well. Probably up here. You got another piece of metal here, and then the back of this cowl. So it was welded to this. Well, if we can see my hand. Welded to the inside, right up at the very top there. So it had a few spot welds there, so that's what gave me trouble getting it off. So there's no way to drill these out. Guess I could have probably cut this open and drilled them, but what I did is I just got a chisel behind this and just chiseled them out, basically just tore the metal. Well, by doing that, this side I was able to drill the weld out a little bit. Then I started chiseling, and you know what it does, you know what you do when you use that chisel, air hammer. Ended up making a hole right there on my finished side of the firewall or cowl. So now I'm going to chip the paint and clear back here or up here. Get that down. Sorry about all this movement. Where's it at? Oh, it's up in there. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. Anyways, I chipped the paint, made a hole. So I kind of flattened the metal down as best as I could. And I am not going to weld that. Because it's just going to burn through, make a bigger mess on the finished side of it. So my plan is to scuff this with one of those 50 grit roll-lock discs. Clean this up here, scuff it, and I'm going to put fiberglass filler here. Then after that dries, on the other side I'm going to wipe some seam sealer on the inside of it. Then after that dries, I'm going to get just touch it up the best I can with base coat on the inside, and maybe brush on a little clear to make it not as noticeable. I mean, you got your top cowl that goes on. People are not going to be looking in there, hopefully, and it's kind of hard to see unless you stick your head up in there and try to find something wrong. Also, I made a little hole. I think it's this one of these. It's an 1/8 inch hole. So same thing, I'm going to put fiberglass filler, seam sealer on the back, on the other side of it. Then I'll scuff this metal and just shoot some rattle can primer so I can put the, oh, wait a minute. No, I'm not going to be putting anything up that high, lizard skin or anything. That's I guess I'll just shoot that with some primer and some spray can paint or something, because I'm going to stop the lizard skin on the back side of this fire wall here. Up to the top here will be lizard skin here down. So this is going to be, just put some primer or something on it, cover it up. I actually painted all this, that color. I was experimenting with colors, so I sanded that up inside. That was the back side of that. It was even, I think, bare metal, or up inside the glove box area. Anyways, I had sanded that and shot some base color that I was trying out, because I knew all this was going to get covered up anyway. So that's where I'm at on that piece. The problem was on this too, on this panel, if you see that brace, that dash brace, oh, let's see, this brace, that panel was actually underneath this brace too, just a little bit, so that's why I couldn't get the drill to weld that out, and having to put my chisel up in there. That's when I ended up tearing this metal here. So I'm just going to try to make a, it's really disappointing, but just I mean, there's nothing really I can do other than just try to patch it up the best I can. Any other way would involve me welding that, taking, I mean, you're limited access with this piece here on, and you can't get hardly in there to sand and grind or anything, and I know I'm going to burn a lot of that paint off if I start welding. And again, it's lack of planning, because this piece I had it completely off where this was all open. The time to take that duct off would have been then, because if you tear it up in the metal, you could have fixed it properly. Alright guys, that's it for today on the video. I don't know when I'll get this part uploaded, but that's what I ran into today. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Okay, I forgot to show you guys what I did, or what happened to my air hammer, my air chisel here. I was up holding this thing upside down using the chisel, and I literally blew a piston out. Thing just broke off, shot the piston out. So that's weird. At first I thought this piece, when it came off, I stopped doing what I was doing, and I said, oh, maybe this thing just screws on there and it got loose. But no, it literally broke off of there. Luckily this thing didn't hit me. While I was up in there chiseling, all I heard was a pop, and then I seen that thing fly out, that piston, and then this come off. So I guess I'm in the market for another air chisel. Alright.